Hello, and welcome to this video about considering what student roles could be when podcasting. Now, this is a resource that is pretty dense and there's lots of information. I just want to give you an overview because some of you might be considering doing group projects in your class with podcasting. And this is an overview with some jobs and skill sets associated with some of those different roles. So I will be sharing the slide deck with you so you can have access to all the details, but I'd like to go over the different roles for your consideration. So this is organized first by skill sets. If you have people wanting to develop or an interest in developing certain skill sets, like leadership, for instance, the role of producer may be a good fit for them, and there could be more than one producer on a project as well. And with that, there are a series of tasks or roles associated with the producer. The other ones listed in here as the resource are those of a researcher, if they are good at asking good questions and evaluating sources and whatnot. Researchers would be a good fit for certain students within the project. And again, here's a list of tasks and roles and jobs that could be associated with a researcher. The students who really excel at the tech side of things, setting up recording and mics and editing after the fact, might consider the role of audio engineer. Both on the recording side and the editing side, there's lots of work that could be done by an audio engineer within the group. And the hosts, the people who are actually on the mic in the podcast, for those who are great at leading a conversation, asking great questions, really good listeners, the host or hosts of the podcast could be considered for that kind of role with a series of tasks or an outline for that host jobs as well. And last but not least, the associated marketing and promotion that requires creativity, maybe some graphic design, and kind of coming up with the theme or the vibe of the podcast could be assigned to marketers and promoters of the podcast with some jobs there. So there are a list of possible roles that you could consider putting your students into or having students self-select into those roles if you're tackling a group project with podcasting in your classroom.